Hey guys, welcome back. I have some new Victoria Beckham Beauty items to share with you today. I have her two new lid lusters. These were just launched last week, and then prior to that she also released or launched a new limited edition holiday posh lipstick shade. And the two new lid lusters are Mirror and Chiffon. Chiffon is a champagne-like shade, and Mirror is a cool silver. I will swatch each of them for you, and along with my order, I also picked up a previously released shade, but I've been eyeing this. This is Mink. I've been eyeing this for some time, so this is a taupe brown shade. So I will swatch that. And then I already have Tea Rose that I picked up last year. This is a warm rose gold. Very exciting. And I'll show you the new posh lipstick shade in Moody, which is this delicious berry color. It does look deeper in the like this than it does when swatched, but I will show you guys, and we can do some other Victoria Beckham posh lipstick comparisons. There's nothing in my collection that is like this shade. I think it's different enough from everything else that she's released so far. The lid lusters, as she demonstrates on Instagram, on her website, is that you can apply one shade all over your lid with a finger and then blend out with a brush. I'm going to attempt to use several of the shades here, but I just wanted you guys to know, if you're into one and done shadows, these lid lusters are definitely the type of product to do that with. You'll see when I swatch them is the kind of shimmer they bring. So this is Mirror. The texture is creamy and easy to diffuse. Chiffon. And Chiffon is the sheerest of the four shades I have. So very nice champagne shade. And then Mink is the deepest. I mean, Mink looks amazing. And because of all these, glittery crystals that are part of the formulation, you could really blend out and it gives you that dimension. I've worn Tea Rose by itself a few times, this last shade here, and it looks great. It looks put together, simple. So that's Tea Rose. Here's Moody. See what I mean? It just looks so much brighter on the skin than it does in the bullet. Next, I'll swatch Pose, which is the deepest shade I have in my collection, and it's not similar to Moody at all. Then we have Spark, and I know it's not similar at all, but I just want to show you the different kind of pinks and browns or neutral shades that are available in her collection and how it sits next to Moody. Then I have Sway, and I think Sway might be the most, not similar, but have maybe similar undertones. Yes, maybe similar undertones, but there's a lot more purple in Moody. I'm going into Mink and generously placing that on top of the upper lash line. I'll come a little bit closer. Very pigmented. I'm going to go in with a blending brush here to diffuse that. So you could wear this as your one and done. And I'd probably, if I was going to do that, I would blend it out for another minute or two. But you can see it's really easy to blend out, and the color, the shade is buildable. As I went back for a second, third application, it just, it stayed deep as I was blending out because there was a good amount of product built on top of that. Next, I'm going into Chiffon, and I'm applying that on the crease. Mink right here. And with a finger, I'm going to just add a touch of mirror. And mirror is certainly bright and impactful. Also, when you apply these with your finger, you really get like a concentrated color payoff. So this is a really simple look that I created here with these 3 lid lusters. I'm going to repeat the steps on the other side, then we'll come back for cheeks, lips, everything else. So off camera, I did take this blending brush and bring Mink up into the crease so we have more dimension. And I also went back into mirror once more on the right eye to add a little bit more, because it seemed like when I added mirror on my left eye, it just had the right amount of brightness. So I try to, you know, compensate and match it on the right eye. So I think this looks okay. This is interesting. I wouldn't usually pair the silver shade with these other shadows that we're using right now. For lips, you know it, I'm going to use Moody. For blush, I'm taking Suku's 102 Powder Blush Compact. This shade here looks to be, hopefully it's a good fit. Looks to be a good fit with the lips. For highlight, I'm taking Westman Atelier's Light Up Highlighter Stick in Perla. This was released as part of the holiday collection and also came with, let me show you here, a new lip suede. Some of the shades on here does remind me of Moody, so we will do some swatch comparisons. But this is just so beautiful, and I think it goes well. Well, it goes well with a lot of looks. It's very versatile, but I think it goes well with both mirror and chiffon, because this is also a has a champagne undertone. Also wears very naturally, which I love that. And it is more sparkly, reflective than some of her other highlighters, or at least the Light Up line. For comparisons, I'm going to go into these 2 shades here, and I'm actually going to mix them because I'm curious to see how close we may get to Moody. I think it's close. I think it's very close, actually. And I'll swatch it right here. It's pretty much a dupe, I would say. This looks deeper, but I could go lighter into this deep shade here and take a little bit more of the bottom shade, and I would probably get very close to this. The only difference between these 2 is this gives you kind of like a soft matte finish. It's not quite satin, whereas the Posh lipstick is of a satin finish. I did not expect that. You know, it did remind me, Moody did remind me of this right away, Le Bordeaux from Westman Atelier, but I didn't think I would find basically a dupe. So if you guys are interested in Moody, but you're also looking at the Westman Atelier new lip suede, I recommend this one because you get more out of it, although it also depends. If you prefer, you know, not messing around with your finger or a lip brush, you can just take, you know, the lipstick, a classic lipstick compact with you, and there you go. You have this color with you. And as for the lid lusters, the eyeshadows I have in my collection that reminds me of them, and I think there might be some close variations here, is the Westman Atelier eye pods, just because they sit in these pods and you can go in, use your finger or a brush. However, the finish is not all that similar. These have a kind of soft metallic finish to them, but by soft, it is really quite soft. While buildable, look at the difference, right? It's undeniably softer in comparison, and it's just different. This is what you would wear for more impact pigmentation, and then the West Montilier is more, for me anyways, it's more day-to-day and just going for something really easy to match the rest of your outfit with. And if you're going somewhere you're not sure how formal it is, going with something light like the West Montilier iPods are always just very safe but beautiful. Now, it also reminds me of Chantecaille's Mermaid Eye Colors, and especially Starfish. This is Starfish. Starfish certainly has some similarities with Tea Rose. In fact, I've worn these two together. I will use Starfish all over my lids and pop some Tea Rose on. The finish is the main difference here. I think the tones are quite similar. Well, actually, maybe Starfish is a bit more plum or mauve, but the Lid Lustres are very glittery and sparkly in finish. They do have crystal infused in its formulation, whereas this is a nice metallic from Chantecaille. The Chantecaille also has some very glittery, sparkly eyeshadows. These are the luminescent eye shades. This one here is Elephant. It is a taupe shade. That does remind me of Mink. So this is Mink. And this is Elephant, very similar in tone, but this Mink is deeper and it is much more, well, it's very concentrated in pigmentation, and it is sparkly and has the silvery crystal-like reflex, while this one is sparkly too. It's just to a lesser extent. And then my last comparison is going to be with, also from Chantecaille Luminescent Eye Shade. It is Pangolin. I don't expect to find too many similarities here because it is purpley pink. All of these shades here, except for Mirror and possibly Chiffon, everybody else is a lot warmer. And this one here is dual chrome light because it shifts from silver to pink, whereas the undertone of this is quite purple. And for finishing touch, I'm going to go into the Victoria Beckham Matte Bronzing Brick, and this is in 02. Just going to warm things up along the jawline. Also helps give a little bit more definition. And also on the forehead here. Oh, and I forgot to put on mascara, so let me do that and we'll talk about shelf life and where these products are made. This is the finished look, and the Lid Lustres are made in Italy, have a shelf life of 24 months. The lipstick, Posh lipsticks, are made in Italy as well, and the shelf life, which for some reason I don't have a box to one of these lipsticks. You know, I collect the boxes, like I keep them, but I don't know where these went. The last one that I had, I must have just thrown it out when I got Moody. But I do think they are 12 months, like they're pretty standard, and I think that's great. Being clean formulation, sometimes with clean formulas, products don't quite last as long, but I find that not to be the case with Victoria Beckham, West Montilier, Milk Makeup, just, you know, all these other clean brands that I've been trying. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and you're enjoying your time off. I will see you guys very soon in the next one. Bye.